Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Strong Female Lead. I'm one of your co-hosts, Tricia.
And I'm Tessa. Welcome back, guys. Oh my
God. We're back. I am so happy to be back. I also feel like our breaks are sort of, like we never really say definitely that we're going on break. And then we also never say how long specifically, maybe to like give us the flexibility of just sort of coming in and out of our creation as we please.
Yeah, we're here to give you quality content, and we can't give you quality if we're burnt out or burning the candle at both ends, which I don't know why that's a saying.
But. Yeah, because what kind of candle? Like, is that a Roman candle? What's a Roman candle?
No, I don't know. When you say Roman candle, I just think of a candle with like Jesus on it, like that you get from like a corner store.
A candle with
a Roman Catholic candle. Yeah.
Oh, like a large, thick candle with like a sticker on it.
Yeah. Like St. Dominic for no reason. Or I guess a lot of reasons, but like
a lot of reasons
that's
that
what
we
I think
don't know. That we don't know on this pod.
No.
Well, we are back, and we just like to keep you on your toes. We just sort of drop off, we come back, but we always come back, guys.
We'll always come back. We'll always come back. We missed you. We missed you.
How are you?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's great. Nice. I'm so glad. Yeah. That's really cool. That's really cool. I'm glad that like you guys are like keeping busy and
Oh, congrats on the new job.
Yeah, that's amazing. Oh wait, are you talking to me?
I was actually talking to our ghost audience, but then I realized you had a new job, and so we'd already spoken about it, but I was just saying, whatever.
Guys, we're just synergistic like that. Like we're just all of the marketing buzzwords together. That's how I feel about you guys.
Oh yeah. And let me just circle back. I just wanted to circle back.
For my last email.
Yeah, I use it. I use them. I use those phrases. I'm also one of those people where I do like RE, meaning regarding. It's like something that I got when I worked for an attorney, like way back when, and he had a dictation device. He would literally leave me a little tape in a basket on my desk, and I would listen to it and type out what he said on it. It would be a letter to a client, and he would say, "Ray line." and that is still in my head, and I use it, and I say like, "I'd like to talk to you, Ray," and then colon the case from last week. Like I do it. No one else does it to me. No one has ever no one has ever copied it, or like I don't see anyone kind of pick up. Nope, it's just me, and I don't care because it just fits everything. It's so easy.
It's drawing your attention to exactly what this conversation is supposed to be about. I appreciate it. I like that. And usually I'll just do the partner's name on an email and then do et al. And I can tell that like some people will like
they don't like to be at
they don't like to be at all. And I was like, well, I'm not writing all of your names, so secretaries and other people on this email, and soon you're reading his emails for him anyway, so I met you get it.
Ooh, I just put hi all. Not like hey y'all, but hi all or all.
I do that if it's an American partner. For the international ones, I was like, let's not cause confusion. Like, because they won't read it if their name's not in it. They'll be like, it was for the secretary. I was like, no, that was for you. I need your specific answer.
Well, you should put the executive assistant or secretary, you should put their name and then et al.
That's probably still somehow more accurate, but I'm like, yeah, there's really no way to get an attorney's attention who wasn't looking for you at this point.
Oh my God. What's another one? I got called out on like, you know, the phrase pick your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was writing an email. I may even be recycling material. I may have said this on another episode. I was writing an email to someone about picking their brain and learning more about their area of expertise. But I wrote, I thought the phrase was chew your brain. And I've been using it for quite some time. And my friend that I used to work with, I mean, he was my coworker, and now he's my friend. But Craig, shout out to Craig McCaig, that truly is his name, Craig McCaig out there. He drew my attention to it. What's like,
chew your brain out?
You can't put that. Are you getting responses?
Yeah, chew you out? Okay.
No, just like, you know, I'm really interested in your line of work. I wanted to chew your brain.
Yeah, that's so strange.
Just kind of like chew on it and then pick your brain. And I just sort of threw them all together, and I was chewing brains. And to be honest, I'm not sure if anyone ever got back to me. Those were like information interviews.
That's the reason. They're like, we didn't understand that last reference. She's out of here.
She sounds volatile.
Right? Is that a threat? Yeah.
She's reaching out. She wants this job, but was that a threat to my body?
Yeah.
Just willy-nilly threatening people in professional emails,
which
no longer were professional after I, no matter what I wrote, that kind of nixed it all. So so excuse me. So what do we do on Strong Female Lead? We take a look at movies, right?
Yeah. We watch TV and we watch a movie. Not in the same episode though.
No.
Different episodes.
We don't do it in the same episode.
No, it's too much.
We take a look at whether Hollywood has been telling us Hollywood has been telling us what is and isn't a strong female lead for as long as we can remember, but did they get it right? And so we look at the portrayal of female characters in movies and television in order to create a social dialogue about representation of women in media. It's been a while, guys. A little rusty.
But they get it. They get why we're here, why we do the pod. Endless content, endless good times.
Endless content, endless good times. And if you're listening to this episode, you already know our beginning's a clusterfuck. And we have been talking about not making it a clusterfuck for a long time, and even pre-recording, but we'll see.
Yeah. I think it's part of our charm.
We'll see. Yeah.
it's part of our quirky charm.
I think so. So are you watching anything good?
Oof, no, I'd actually fallen into a terrible hole of watching this YouTuber slowly destroy her life. It's like the slowest train wreck ever. I won't promote her content, but if you did, I will not.
Put it in the chat.
Pod.
Put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat. But no, she's just slowly like, I mean, I think to say killing herself is not a stretch. She's just making real bad decisions, and I'm like locked into this drama. And why is it available on YouTube? I have absolutely no idea. But every day it's something different because she's a hot mess. And so I've been.
Is it a video diary or something? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's a lot of vlogs about her life, and her bad decision making. Like, she's currently in a semi-abusive relationship that she is and isn't in a lot of the time. And so now I would consider myself part of her audience, even though I refuse to subscribe or watch any of her videos. I just keep up the drama from drama channels. And it's just the saddest thing. And like she's not like, though she's making terrible decisions, she's like not that far gone that she could just be like, nah, I don't want to do this anymore, and just like not do any of these things. But she just continues to double down in ways that are like so strange to me. Like, why are you doubling down? Like, why every decision she makes, I'm just like, but there was a good decision. You saw it. I know you saw it. And then you made the decision that you made. And she's 37. And so I'm like, a lot of this, you probably should have done it like 22, maybe even like 17. Like, I was like, what were you doing during those ages that like, you don't have like a frame of reference to be like, no, like when I did that one time, it didn't go well.
Wow. Oh, so yeah. Okay.
So I've been watching her, but then I've also been watching Loki on Disney Plus, which was amazing. Just as like Loki and the WandaVision was excellent. 2 summer hits, greatness. I just started the American Horror Story season 1 million or whatever they're doing right now. Oh
my God. Yeah. What is it? It's a new one, right?
Yeah. It's called Double Feature. And, I won't give any of the secrets away since they're like only 3 episodes in, but quite good.
Oh, give me an idea.
Oh, okay. So it's about writers. And I was like, called out. It's about writers and vampires. So like 2 things I am genuinely interested in.
Yeah.
But I don't like this season thus far. Like, I have not enjoyed it thus far, but they're only in episode 3 or 4. So there's time for Ryan Murphy to make it better. Please make it better, Ryan.
Yeah.
Make it better.
And there's still some seasons I haven't seen of American Horror Story. Like, I keep thinking I've seen them all, and I really haven't. Like the 80s one.
Yeah, that one was kind of fun. It was campy.
I should see it.
Yeah, I like that. I liked that one, and I liked the shorts. They did like a bunch of like one-off episodes of American Horror Story earlier in the summer that were released. Yeah, and those were all like very interesting. I like these little one-off stories that they're still a part of the universe that is created through like the first 12 seasons, but like these little one-offs just give like a little bit of extra like depth and dimension to some of the old haunts. Like,
where do you find them?
They're all on Hulu.
Just a one-off episode?
Yeah, well, it's like they're like compiled into like an anthology. Like, it's 1 season, but I forget what it's called. But yeah, they're all on Hulu. Watch them. They're pretty good.
Oh, yeah. I'll definitely look. I didn't know they did that, but it's a season. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What have you been up to? Watching any train wrecks on the internet?
I mean, always. I have my like own brand of train wrecks. I watched The Challenge. The Challenge has a new season. And
I feel like that's a very consistent show. Like, I don't know why in my head I'm just like every season is the last challenge.
No,
but I'm just like, no, they're just gonna keep doing it.
Well, they're able to keep doing it because they just keep building on the franchise and pulling in people from different reality shows. So now we have people like from Survivor. We have people from Big Brother. Like, there aren't enough Real World Road Rules because Road Rules hasn't been on forever.
For like 20 years.
And Real World, Real World just kind of stopped being good. And so they stopped kind of pulling people from that. But even the MTV shows like Are You the One? Like, they pull from all of those. But I noticed the quality, the choreography is a little bit better. And I'm wondering if that's because they have these like really big shows on now, like Survivor and Big Brother. Yeah, because like it just is a different show, not in the best of ways necessarily either. There's less like drunken chaos. Like there used to be people just like getting into fights and getting kicked out like almost every season, and they just don't have any of my favorite the art that I really looked for, the performance art.
That was the train wreck, the performance art.
Yeah, that was the challenge. But they still have like, I mean, there's one guy, CT, and he's like in his early 40s and he's still on it, like kicking ass. And these kids are like 20, 25. Insane. But they did have a real world, or no, they had a challenge, and it was Challenge All Stars, and that was on Paramount Plus. And that was a while back, and it was all people my age. So like they were all
you say that like
late
you're
30s.
100.
Well, I will say it was very funny because these were people in their late 30s and early 40s that had not been competing on a regular basis like CT. And so it really was like the geriatric games, like for some of them. And they would even laugh about it. Like, I mean, they were all like, there was like a swimming competition and people were like hyperventilating and like, I mean, they just weren't in shape to do that show, which is totally understandable.
Well,
it's not like I would nener be able to do it. But yeah, I say it like I'm super old, but it did feel like they were old. But CT, you know, he's just kicking ass. So that and Bachelor in Paradise. I mean, you guys, I can't not watch it. Although it is 2 hours every Monday and Tuesday.
Oh, it's 2 hours on both days?
Yes.
Whoa, that's a lot of time. Like, is there a lot of people on the show, or is it like that's like when the people who don't win go, right? Or is it like one person
that's really
doing it?
It's where the people who don't win go. That is absolutely,
is that not right?
That's absolutely what it should be called.
Oh, yeah. So yeah. I didn't want to call them losers because they're not. I mean, you didn't win the. Is it a game? I don't know. It's
kind of a game. It's like a weird dating game, but basically they go to, I think they're in Mexico, but they go to like paradise. They stay at a beach and they try to make connections with people, and there's quite a bit of people. Like there might be a total of like 15 at some point, and they're all trying to make connections, and then they have rose ceremonies and they have one-on-one dates, and they're basically all just like hooking up, and then they introduce new people every once in a while, and then people get eliminated.
People who've never been on the show?
No, people who have been on the show, but they sort of trickle in. They're not all there in the beginning. So they trickle in for some drama, right?
You'd think that would be the whole show, and then if you made it, then you would be on The Bachelor to see if the relationship's going to work, and we'd follow one couple who we actually think is going to make it, try and make it. I don't understand the show. I don't understand. Like, why are there so many quote unquote losers? Like, and how do people stand it? I'm like, I want there to be more winners than losers. Like,
yeah. I think it's not meant to be understood. It's meant like, because it doesn't make any sense, because any of these people, if they've ever seen it, they would know. But like what it is, but they don't, and I can't explain what it is. It's basically just people dating people, but they're all, the contestants are confused about what's going on. So it's definitely not weird that you are, but they get like very jealous very quickly, yet they're all there to like date a bunch of different people. It's all very weird. And they have the same conversations. They're like, I care about us. I'm interested in further developing our connection, but I do want to be able to go on a date if someone else asks. And then one person gets mad, and then they go hook up with someone else, and then they have the same exact conversation with that person. And it just happens over and over and over. But they do have a bachelorette, Becca Kufrin. I think that's how you say her name. She's from Minnesota. She was on The Bachelor, and then one was engaged but was broken up with by the Bachelor. Then she became the Bachelorette. Then she got engaged and broke it off with him, and now she's on Bachelor in Paradise. It's the first time it's gone the opposite way.
So she's lost on all 3 shows?
She hasn't lost yet, and we're saying don't win.
Didn't she? I think some people are on their last leg, and so
she hasn't lost yet.
It seems to me the point of a show called The Bachelor would be to end up not a bachelor, and so the fact that when there's so many bachelors leaving the show as bachelors, that's the part that confuses me. It seems like you should leave the show once you're no longer a bachelor. You're on the show and they just keep bringing in people of the opposite sex until you're no longer a bachelor. You have 12 episodes to find someone.
That's what they do for the show Bachelor, but they just introduce them all at once. But for Bachelor, it's all women that come in, and then for Bachelorette, it's all men. But you're right. There's a lot of men and women come out of the Bachelor franchise going into this other show. A lot of
branded as unlovable. And now you're supposed to make it work because you're on an island. What did you learn from The Bachelor that makes you more prepared? Or less prepared?
Nothing. Nothing. And it's very. And now they have, because Chris Harrison was effectively canceled and resigned as host, and he was the host for 20 years. Now they just are testing stuff out. David Spade came on. It seemed like it was a labor of love for him. I'm not even sure he got paid. It just seemed like he just wanted to go on. Yeah,
they just couldn't get him off set. David Spade's here, guys. We don't know what to do. He owns part of the network. Just let him. Just don't even bother him. You don't have to talk to him if you don't want to.
He did not seem like it was at all rehearsed. It truly seemed like he showed up that day. He volunteered, showed up that day, and was just thinking it was hilarious to interact with these characters that he's watched. And then Lance Bass, he was on one. Great. It truly just does seem like they're just fans of the show. I'm sure Jimmy Kimmel might. He's kind of obsessed with the show too, and they're just It's a weird people. It's a drug.
I get it. I've recently fallen into a swell. It's a negative wormhole, but
bit of a K-hole with your YouTuber.
Yeah, I need them. I just need her to get it. And I don't understand what she's not saying.
Well, what's funny
similar.
She sounds, not to force a little bit of a segue here, but as you were discussing her, she sounds a little bit our lovable character in Fleabag, which is what we're covering today. I don't know if it's exactly the same thing, and we're definitely rooting for Fleabag throughout this, and she has a lot of redeemable qualities as well, but she is effectively making bad decisions left and right. Every time she does something where you're oh wow, then she just
fucks it up,
does
real bad,
just does something to cancel it out.
Yeah.
I'm just how did you cancel out the good thing? Oh my God.
Exciting.
I'm so excited to talk about this.
Yes. In reality, they are very similar, and it does on a
It did kind of
on
seem
some
weird.
levels that they are very similar, but on some other levels, the YouTuber is much worse. I wonder if she's ever seen this. Oh, maybe I should send her a message and be like, hey, have you ever seen Fleabag? Because it might help you to be like,
wow,
we're all a little fucked up. Nobody's expecting anyone to be perfect, but you are on a path that doesn't end well for most
do you
people.
really want to get do you really want to get that close to the sun?
No, you know.
I mean, you can, and I support you because I support really any interaction with shitty weirdos, and that's what my friend refers to reality stars as. I always love. She's like, you just love the shitty weirdos. I can spot them. I always see them in big cities. There aren't a lot in Chicago, but like in Philly, they were everywhere. Oh yeah, lots of reality people lived in Philly, and I would see them and I'd like give them the eye. Had some interesting interactions, even Bachelor contestants, because I know you, I see you, and I recognize you. You can't get away from me. So I do, you have my approval. Not that you're asking for it, but my support more so. If you do, but I'm just saying, if something were to happen to this broad,
I would feel horrible.
Right.
I would feel horrible that like her audience community could not get through to her. Like it's so weird because she has these followers who just encourage her to do bad things and things that are just obviously bad.
Oh, it's like Black Mirror.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I'm living in a Black Mirror and I'm like, is everyone seeing the same reality? It's really just making me question my reality. I do watch her a lot when I'm high, but I'm like, is everyone understanding words the way that I understand them? Like, because everything you're saying right now is not good. Like, it's not helping you. Nothing you're saying right now is actually helping you. And I just don't believe that she doesn't understand it, but I also don't understand what in her head is like not clicking in order for her to help herself.
And you watching high
not helping
is not helping her. But maybe what would help her is if you get high and then you start you make a video message to then
post it to YouTube
to then give to her, either in put a link under hers, or maybe just you make a message. No, this sounds like a good idea. You make a video message and then you just like tag her. I don't know how it works.
I'm gonna just give her Diane's email address and be like, hey, I think you might need to talk to somebody who's a real living person who could give you some solid advice on, how to start over.
Oh my God.
She's so scary. She's a cautionary tale. I'm just like, oh my God.
Okay.
But
I need
also, she could also just like take in some amazing art and see herself. Maybe something like a Fleabag will resonate because it's a fantastic show, and who doesn't resonate on some level with all, if not most, of the characters in Fleabag.
Oh my God. I know. So let's dive in. And yes, I do need the name of that YouTuber because I'm kind of a sick fuck under it all. So, all right. Fleabag. Fleabag is a British comedy drama created and written by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and it's based off her one-woman show, which I have not seen. Have you seen?
No.
So I think that there's a recording of it potentially, or there was some release.
There was. I remember seeing that in like that it was coming out in theaters. The stage performance.
Okay.
So long ago. Though.
I don't know how.
In the before times.
In the before times. I don't know how we can get a hold of it. There's got to be a way. But it has won so many awards. So it's a co-production between BBC Three and Amazon Studios, and oh my God, it was released in 2016, ended in 2019, and it has won so many awards. It won the British Academy Television Award for Best Female Comedy Performance for the first, it says first series. That's what they keep referring to it as, rather than a season. I wonder if that's a British thing. The second series received 11 Primetime Emmy Award noms, won 6, with Phoebe Waller-Bridge earning Outstanding Comedy Series, Outstanding Lead Actress, Outstanding Writing for a Comedy Series. And then there were acting noms for Olivia Colman, Kristen Scott Thomas, Fiona Shaw, and then it won the Golden Globe for Best Television Series and Best Actress for Waller-Bridge. The reason I just say all of that is you have to see it. You absolutely have to watch this. This is like a near perfect script, I think. And it just showcases like such a unique talent in Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who also, I don't know if she directed, but I don't want to get it wrong, but she's definitely part of the writing team for Killing Eve, which we covered a couple seasons ago. Killing Eve Softly. Back when we used to come up with little catchy little names. I think we don't do that anymore. Hillary, where are you?
They get hard. They get hard after a while. But yeah, we need Hillary back.
She was really good at coming up with those, and Tessa and I just regressed to naming it after the actual movie.
Yeah.
But so really, like, what is Fleabag about? It's about this is Wiki's description. I'm going to say it, but it's a little bit weird. She's a free-spirited and sexually active, but angry and confused young woman in London. Yeah.
All of those words are accurate, but also, did you capture the spirit of the show, of who Phoebe is in the series?
Right.
No, you did not.
No, you didn't. There's so much more. She's going through a grieving process. She'd been through a traumatic event and lost her best friend. And she seems to have this sort of addiction she almost comes across as like having borderline personality at times, not quite like Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. But there are some things where I'm just like, you didn't just not do the right thing, you did the opposite. Like you just, I don't get why you did what you just did. And there's a lot of those types of moments, but then she also is sort of like, she's always seems to be the smartest person in the room. Like she's always like clued into like the motivations of others and sort of like what's going on around her, and kind of can see everything so clearly except herself. Like even in the way she describes her family and stuff. But it just follows her getting by in London, and her interactions and the dynamic with her family and boyfriends, and eventually her soulmate / the hot priest. And it really, I don't know.
I feel like I would call her, like, if there's a school for manic pixies, she like failed or was asked to leave. Like she has like all of these startings of a manic pixie. I love that she's not playing like opposite anyone until like season 2. So it really is. I mean, she's definitely the star of the series. The series is about her, and there's no questioning that. But I do think that she's like a sad manic pixie, because I think like if anything, like it's a feat of writing to be the audience's manic pixie somehow instead of somebody who's directly in the series. She did it for us, and I was like, that's freaking amazing.
It does kind of seem like she's like putting on for us, like, hey, you dare me? Like it's very interactive with the audience.
And it's flirty, just like she is with the priest. And so it's very interesting to see like how because we're breaking the fourth wall constantly.
Yes.
Which is so, I love it. I know some people really hate it, but I love it when it's done, when it's used as it is in Fleabag. It has a purpose. We are almost her imaginary friend, which I just love. I love it. I'm very curious on how they would do this as a staged play, instead of a television series where we have multiple camera angles, and we can see her like, you know, Jim to camera, like very like, you know, little cutaways. But I'm like, how would you do that on stage and have it not be completely jarring?
I don't know, and especially because it's a one woman play, so how's she interacting with other people? She's obviously going to be interacting with the audience. So yeah, like, is she doing voices? Like, what's, like, we really need to check this out. But I like fourth wall breaking, and sometimes I don't. I like it sometimes, I don't like it other times. I almost didn't watch this the first time because I heard that it breaks the fourth wall pretty much consistently throughout. Like, sometimes every other line of dialogue is breaking it. It's not like she's going into like an interview like The Office, or it's not like Jim where he just like looks over 3 times in that episode, you know, like she is truly like, she's talking to one person. Even sometimes she'll say one word to the character, one word to the camera, back one word to the character, and she'll do it like multiple times in a conversation, and it's like, oh my god. And then it was just so brilliant, because then when we get pulled in and we start to like realize that it's not just fourth wall breaking, it's like she sees us as maybe her friends, but also kind of voyeuristic, like when she's in therapy. Oh my god, when she gets that therapy session as a gift from her dad, oh my god, there's just so many in front of everybody, gives her like a coupon, and she wasn't supposed to open it. It was a bedroom gift.
Bedroom gift. Ew.
It was I'm like, bedroom gift.
That's gross.
But she talks to the therapist, who's the woman in Killing Eve, like the CIA agent, or I don't know, I think so. But she's like, well, do you have any friends? And she's like, friends? And she's like, well, there are people that are like around, or something like that. And she's like, they're always there. She looks at us, and I'm like, what do you mean?
Right?
Stop it.
I love that. I love being just like, a part of somebody else's. I was having this very high conversation yesterday with a friend we were at a Magic Lounge, and we're just having brilliant moment after brilliant moment.
What's a Magic Lounge?
Oh my god, the Chicago Magic Lounge. It's amazing. It's in Andersonville. Everyone, if you're in Chicago, you definitely need to check out the Magic Lounge. It's phenomenal. You can just sit at the bar and they'll do close-up magic for you. It's everything. And we were both very high, and so we're like, let's go see magic.
Oh my god.
Really, it was my suggestion. It was my suggestion. I will admit it. I always want to go. But the conversation we were having was about like the people who like populate your dreams. Like, have you ever, I'm assuming everyone's had a dream where they're in a crowded room or a crowded space. And like, where do those faces come from? And are we also the faces in their dreams? Like, is this a whole alternate reality of dream world? Where, we just exist in everyone's like thought. And I was like, oh my God, that's just like Fleabag. We're just like faces in a crowd in her dream. Same thing, full circle. I loved it.
That's a very stony conversation.
Extremely. In the moment we're just like, we're brilliant.
Well, not only are we brilliant, but am I in your dream right now? Is this
exactly
a dream?
Exactly.
Where am I? Yeah. No, I love a good conversation like that. You guys are breaking your own walls. And then you're going into the other universe. I mean, she's just this is truly brilliant.
I do really like if you're going to break the fourth wall, I don't like when the reveal is just like that this is a movie set. that wasn't worth it, and that's never worth it to me. But this, it's breaking the fourth wall, but not breaking the the imagination, the real like mise en scene, like the atmosphere. Like it's still, everything is still intact, even though she's speaking directly to us at moments where I just freaking hate it when it's done anywhere where it's like, oh, the reveal is that this is a movie, really, because I know I'm watching a movie. There was no reveal.
It's supposed to be like a movie within a movie. Yeah, that's super annoying.
Just like no, go ahead.
No, it does it perfectly. And you know, we talk about a tight script. This is the tightest of tight scripts. It is, they're talking fast, they're going back and forth really quickly. Each episode is like 25 minutes long. There's 6 episodes in 2 seasons, like 6 episodes per season. They cover so much ground, yet like they cover so much emotional ground in every episode. Like it might be just, you know, they're at a silent retreat with like some sort of like 12-step program for men who hate women. It's like being taking place like next door. I mean, some of the shit she comes up with, and they're like yelling bitch, and I take offense that the doll they're screaming at's name is Patricia, my family's my family name, and they're calling her like a stupid slut cunt like the whole way through. And I'm just like, oh my God. And no, my name is not Patricia, but that is my mother's name.
It's close. It's close. And I could see how that would be jarring.
It was jarring.
I know, anytime anyone, like, it's very rare that anyone uses the name Tessa. It's not a popular name. But whenever it does happen, I'm like, it does feel like the TV is talking to me, like maybe they can see me. And so, I get overly involved, and that's me sober. So
it was very, it's jarring, but like she could be doing that in an episode, or she's, you know, there's a birthday party that her sister was planning for herself, and it can be an episode about that. But like the emotional ground, how much we learn about Fleabag in every episode is, we just learn a ton about her. And she doesn't even have a name. We don't even know her actual name in this, and no one ever calls her Fleabag. We just know her as Fleabag, so no one's even referring to her as her name. But then I did read that Phoebe Waller-Bridge's nickname growing up was Fleabag. Isn't that funny? Which is, wowza. Like from her family. Rough. But like, I mean, and before we go into like strong female lead, which this is obviously, because the whole show centers around her, we got to talk about the acting and the characters. It was so good.
Yeah, I mean, Olivia Colman was there, and I was like, oh my God. I feel like everyone's just like unworthy. I just think Olivia Colman, who plays the godmother / mother-in-law, or soon-to-be mother-in-law, she's just brilliant. That dick exhibit, or sex exhibition. I just died. I just cannot. And to be able to hold that together, like, this is so many funny people in one room. I don't even understand how they were able to do this. I mean, I guess they're professionals, whatever, but
no,
it is
Olivia
so
Colman,
impressive.
I forgot, like, because we've seen her in The Crown, and we've seen her in, oh my God, what was the British series she was in? Like the crime series. Oh my God.
The something about a lake.
Yeah. I forget the name, but she, like, I didn't know how funny she was, and I don't think I realized it was her, or maybe I hadn't seen the other stuff with her in it, but going back and knowing her as the person from The Crown and other things, and seeing her that I can't remember, and then seeing her in Fleabag, I was like, oh my God, like this is even better. Like her comedic timing was so funny, but like just her hatred for the daughters. Which she was their godmother. Like she was friends.
That's the crazy part. Like you're not
mother.
Just meeting them. You're not just meeting these girls like who are adult assholes. I'm like, you must have thought this the whole time that they were like baby asshole, toddler asshole.
I mean, and the just like how, oh my God.
How fast she moved in on her friend's, I don't know, friend's
the widower.
Whoa.
Oh, I know. And
whoa.
And just funny shit. Like I didn't write down. I wanted to write down like a ton of stuff because in every episode there was like something just so over the top, like hysterical. But now that we're talking, like some of it's coming back up, but like just the painting of the sisters, and she makes Fleabag turn around so she gets her back. Like that's so funny. It's just, and they let her do all those things, except then like Fleabag does freak out and like punches her at one point.
I mean, she kind of deserves it. She mostly deserves it.
I mean, she does kind of, but Fleabag eggs her on the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, when she steals that like bust, and then she like uses it to masturbate, then gives it to her sister.
Yeah, the big meeting.
Oh, even worse. No, gave it to her sister's husband to give her as a gift. Then brings it to the big meeting as a women in business trophy. Like this thing has been everywhere, and then finally she gives it back to the godmother and then takes it again. Oh my God, I just can't. And that like the sexhibition and the penis.
The sexhibition.
Like what was so, she doesn't come across as sexual. She just talks about sex.
No, yeah. She is very much like, it felt like very medical, everything that she was saying, but then also she was trying to also be flirty with like her medical facts. And I was like, I hate it. I hate you.
Yeah, like it's biology. It's natural. Like she's supposed to be this artist, but she's so like not free-spirited in the way that she
but maybe it's because
acts.
They're British. I think maybe it's their Britishness that's like
it's a
eroding just part of the sexy. Not all of it.
But I also know what that means.
Very, very proper, and I just don't also equate like proper and things functioning with sexy. I mean, yes, it's functioning, but like
I mean, Fleabag wasn't very proper, but everyone else,
even in her appearance, she is like she's like very well groomed and like very. I don't know, I'm just thinking like trench coats and like little sweaters and like dainty jewelry, like very put together. Like she looks like she comes from money. Like I would never be like she's barely getting by, even though like she owns a cafe and she kind of is, but.
Yeah, she kind of, and I think Phoebe Waller-Bridge was interviewed and said that she wanted to portray someone that didn't look like a mess on the outside, but was totally messy on the inside. And that's exactly it. Like she's wearing jumpers sometimes.
Yeah,
just
dresses
like,
a lot. Like
I'm like, and her hair's like curled, and like she just kind of, she always does look very put together. Now, we cannot talk about the show without talking about her sister, Claire.
I love Claire.
Oh my God.
I feel like for a long time, I just saw myself as Claire. I feel like I've now gotten a little bit of Fleabag in me, but like, I love Claire. I love everything that she does, and I love her character's journey.
She's so wound up. Like
so type A. Like she's the type A of type A's. Like,
oh my God.
I find that type of person so relaxing to me. It's like
wow. really. I mean, I have
I don't have to do
tendencies,
anything.
but that, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I don't have to do anything. I can just be I can be the free spirit who is sexually active, angry but confused young woman living in Chicago. I could be that person. I would love to be that person. I just need more people around me who are like type A and want to do things.
The thing is, though,
or have to feel a neurotic need to do those things.
She does feel like she's definitely type A, but she also, her feelings are messy. She just won't look at them the way that Fleabag will look at hers. But Fleabag won't really look at her own all the time, but she can definitely like see everybody else's. And yeah, I love just the stuff she points out to Claire and just their sisterly like relationship. But when she's like, you shit in a sink, like in the first episode, and she's like, she's like, I'm married, I have 2 degrees and a Burberry purse. She's like, you shit in the sink. But you shit in the sink. And just picturing Claire, like Claire does get like messy. And there are times where she like really like sticks up for Fleabag, even though Fleabag just makes some questionable decisions. Like when Claire has a miscarriage, Fleabag's there for her and wants to take her to the hospital, but there was no reason for Fleabag at the dinner. So they're having a dinner at a restaurant. They're meeting with the priest who's going to end up marrying Fleabag's father and the godmother. This is our first like introduction to the hot priest. And her sister, you know, gets up after all of this talk about like happiness is a choice. We are so fucking happy. And then she like goes to the bathroom. We find out she's having a miscarriage. And Fleabag's like, let's take you to the hospital. She's like, no. So then she gives her like these huge paper towels to fashion a sanitary napkin out of. And then they go back to dinner and Fleabag says she had a miscarriage. Like there were other ways to cover for her sister. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I actually thought that was like that was like one of the times I thought she did the right thing. Like,
but why couldn't she just say she was sick?
Well, I think she wanted it to be known that like this dinner needs to end. Like, I'm not going to leave a table. We need to be done. This whole thing, because the sister would have just stayed and kept drinking. Like, we need this dinner to be done. So there's no excuse for her to stay, even if she didn't go to the hospital. Like, you don't, I mean, but
I didn't get that. I was just like, why are we doing that? But then obviously it all goes to shit. Like, who punches who by accident? And then there's bloody noses everywhere. And
bloody noses everywhere. I love their dynamic. I just love it. I love Claire in that she's like that perfect type A person. And I love the moments where Claire feels, I mean, Fleabag is the obvious fuck up. Like, I mean, come on.
Right.
She's making poor decisions, and that's how this series gets started. It's revealing, she's revealing like subconscious truths and like kind of like that process of, what's the word that people are always saying?
She's coming to terms with herself.
Yeah, coming to terms. Yeah.
Is there a word that you're looking for?
Yeah, I mean, it's not closure. It's some other like psych buzzword that people keep saying.
Evolving, self-realization. I don't know. I'm just
something
throwing shit out. We'll circle back.
Yeah, we'll circle back. Yeah, I'll get you in the some sort of like coming to terms with self. She's doing that, but the moments where Claire has those moments of realization and then immediately has to like take cheap shots at Fleabag, I'm like, yep, that's a sister dynamic. Because you don't want to be the fuck up. And I'm like, if the fuck up has her shit together, then what the fuck is that saying about you as the type A person? Like, yep, that's some sisterly logic for you. Like, oh fuck no.
That is really funny because sometimes she'll like do something, and then Fleabag will point it out and she'll be like, are you all right? She's like, I'm fine. And then she'll like say something that Fleabag's doing.
Yeah. Oh my God, I do that all the time.
Or like,
and then
just
I'm like,
gets mad
you
at
don't
her
have to.
for everything. Like,
Yeah, for doing the right things. Yeah, for saying the right thing.
Fleabag will say something that'll be the right thing to help her out, and then she'll just get
Go
really
for the
pissed.
jugular. Go for the jugular. That's the whole scene with that's the dynamics I saw playing out in the miscarriage scene in the bathroom, where she's like, fashioning the sanitary napkin out of disgusting what do you call them, paper towels. And I mean, I think that's why she didn't want to admit that she failed at something, even something like pregnancy. Like, I'm like, you didn't
how
fail
did she go for the jugular there, or what was the dynamic? I'm trying to remember the conversation.
When she's like pushing her away and she's saying no, I don't tell anyone, and then she agrees, Claire agrees to the to go to the hospital, and then she's like, no, I'm not doing that, I'm gonna drink. And then she doesn't even get the courage to be able to end the dinner or do anything. I don't know if she's waiting. To me, it seemed like she was waiting for I keep wanting to call her Phoebe, but I know her name is Fleabag. She was waiting for Fleabag to make a big enough scene to do her typical fuck up shit so that she would have an excuse to leave. Like, she was never going to just leave the table and accept that she's the fuck up, even in the moment. Like, even if something so like, I mean, you didn't do anything to, I mean, it's a miscarriage, it happens. Like, it's, but to even admit that, like, in that way I'm imperfect, but I mean, that is a sisterly I mean, I guess it's a friend thing too, but just to jump on that grenade for a friend, for a sibling.
I know. And then she does her typical thing that like ends the night somehow in some dramatic fashion, whether it's like she just blows stuff up all the time. But then they end up in the car together to go. Then Claire's like, hey, come on. And then they're in the cab and she's like, where do you live? I'll take you home. And I'm like, you've never been to her place. First of all, that I was like, Jesus. And then she's like, we're going to the hospital. And it just makes me like kind of sad for Fleabag, but like her family really doesn't seem to care about. They care about her, but like there's a lot of distance from her day to day goings on, which
is
like,
probably healthy. I mean, I feel like her family is like, though they're making the British what seemingly callous choice, I think they're making the healthier choice, which is to allow her to figure her shit out and allow her to be able to come back into their space. Like, she can still go to the family home, even though she's fucked up pretty royally. Like, she stole from her mother-in-law. Even though we don't like her on the show, I'm like, that if someone was coming into your home and stealing things and you just continually let them back in, what does it say about you? Like, or, sleeping with her friend's boyfriend, and the almost kiss. I mean, that wasn't her fault, but still, like, these things seem to follow you. So like keeping a respectable distance seems like the healthy choice.
I know, you're right. It's because we love her so much that like I want her family to be closer, but she is like, if I were around that,
she's creating this dynamic more than it's being imposed upon her.
I don't think I'd get too close, although I'd love to be in the periphery. I would love to see some of that shit firsthand. I do like some detached drama. 100%. Like, I do enjoy a good scene, as long as I am not like it's not directed at me, or I'm not like really a party too. But seat at that dinner. Are you fucking kidding me? With the priest?
Oh, no.
Oh yeah.
I mean, with the priest, he can come, but like,
no, with all of them, awkward is like, that's my sweet spot. I want some like real fucked up awkwardness. I mean, I know it's terrible. I don't know what that says about me either, because like Phoebe Waller-Bridge, her character seems to like have internal chaos So she's creating it externally, and it's also kind of following her around. I'm like, so what about like, why is that like a calm space for me? Like, why is that?
Hey, we're all recreating patterns. We're all
that I could really
patterns.
can really relax into, you know, like, and none of my friends like, you know, friends of mine will purposefully like invite me out to situations that they know are like kind of awkward because I'll enjoy it. And a friend of mine from home, oh yeah, she's like, all right, it's gonna get weird. Like, you definitely should come. She's like, I also hate it. So, you know, I'd like you to be there. And I'm like, all right, I'll go. And I just kind of like, just hang out and just watching people spin, as long as it's not me. I don't know. It's kind of cold. As long as it's not me and people I care about, it has to be people I have zero, you know, connection to.
It just seems like live TV, the way you're describing it, even though.
Yeah, that's actually a great. I mean, you wonder why I like reality TV. I'm kind of like, maybe I just like the live version as well.
Yeah, it seems like the logical next step from reality TV is just like a private invitation to somebody's dinner party. It's like also going to be a shit show.
I'd like to throw it out to everybody, our listeners too. I mean, yeah, there's a vetting process. We'll have to make sure that you're not totally crazy, but like COVID, you know, precautions in place, feel free to invite me to one of your most awkward dinner parties or functions in the local Chicago area. Like, I'm not jumping on a flight here. So if you're in Chicago and there's something weird, and I like a good dynamic, like where there's a secret that only some people know. I like that kind of dynamic. I also like exes. I like to see that play out, and also like active addiction. That's one that I can really get down with. And then also any sort of like domestic noir, you know, like any sort of like dark domestic. Yeah, hit me up.
Don't invite me to those things. No, if people aren't laughing and are having a good time, I could do that. I could just be in my own house. Like I'm not gonna leave my house to see you fight. What? That sounds crazy to me.
Why? It's so good. Okay, but we haven't covered. Well, I just realized Phoebe Fleabag. I don't know. Like, there's a F and a B.
Oh.
I just
was like, what is she getting at?
Phoebe Fleabag. I just like, maybe it had something to do.
The fees.
Maybe it had something to do with the nickname, other than like
maybe.
A Fleabag motel. I'm
imagining she was just a tomboy and was just like a dirty kid. And who's the one with the field of dirt that like follows him wherever he goes from the Peanuts?
Oh my God, I have no idea.
We're like around the same age. She could have gotten a Peanuts themed nickname, maybe.
Aw, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's cute.
I don't know that one's name.
But how about
those kids?
What do you think about Hot Priest? So in series 2, actually, we're not really doing a good job with saying exactly what happens in season 1 and season 2. In season 1, she's dealing with the trauma of her friend dying.
Yes.
And we learned that her friend walked into traffic to try and like kind of get hurt to get the attention of her boyfriend who had cheated on her. We're not in her head. We do see a conversation that happens between her and Fleabag that is like tragically sad and screwed up. And I think like 3 other people died as a result, because I think she wanted to get hit by a biker, but I don't know how much you can really control that if you walk into city traffic. But who knows if she wanted to kill herself or if she didn't, right? We only see a little bit of a conversation between her and Fleabag about it. But then we do learn that it was Fleabag that her boyfriend cheated on her with. And so that adds a whole other layer to the death of her friend. And I don't think her friend knew it was Fleabag. So
no, she knew.
Oh.
I think she knew. I think the day that she told her is the day she walked into traffic, because she's like, I have no one, type of like desolate feeling. Because wasn't her friend like also like she's got like no family, she's kind of a, what do you call those kids who like
an orphan? God,
no, I meant like a latchkey kid, like who like, you know, kind of had to take care of themselves, like older than you know, act older than they actually were, like one of those, like with working parents, like not I realized my description was very off.
What do you call those kids?
Yeah, I was like, oh God, latchkey kid, like a latchkey kid. But especially like in season 2, you get little glimpses of their friendship still, as the trauma surrounding her friend's death is still following her. But you get those little clips of the best friend being there for her when her mom died. And I was like, oh, when Fleabag's mom dies. And so she's like, just like being a good friend to her. And it's kind of like just turning the knife even more to be like, I was a good friend to you. And then this is the type of friend that you've been to me, and that's crushing.
I'll be honest, I did not get from it that she knew. I thought she walked into traffic. I thought it was to like get attention and maybe to kill herself, but I didn't think it was because she knew it was Fleabag. But I am so curious now. And I need to know.
Yeah. But then again, it kind of like it. That's another hard thing with Fleabag is that Fleabag is not the most reliable narrator.
Right.
And so as much as we love her, like we should probably go the way of her family and be like a respectful distance between whatever's going on in your life and reality.
But she's so funny. So she's going through the thing. Yeah, she's going through the thing with her friend, and then boo, and they have this like gerbil themed cafe. And
they are guinea pigs.
Oh, sorry. Oh my God, that's a mistake everybody makes on the show too. It's just guinea pigs are such a useless animal. I forget they exist. Like,
I'm sure the guinea population is furious. I'm sure there's a active guinea pig lovers group on the socials who are going to come after us. So
they're definitely going to come after us. It is really, really sweet though. That's a terrible gift, and Fleabag gives Boo this gift of a guinea pig, which truly is just a terrible gift. It's just dirty and something that she has to take care of. But Boo loves it to the extent that they then make it the theme of the place, which isn't entirely sanitary to have that guinea pig cage. Part of me was like, whoop. It was like very close to the counter. I didn't understand.
Disgusting.
Sometimes it was out and about. But there's all these guinea pig portraits. Yeah. And I mean, the art obviously I really wants to hold on.
I thought the art was cute. I just didn't know why we needed a living mascot to be in the cafe at all times. And like that's
it was just she couldn't let go of Hillary, which is
the best name.
Shout out to Hillary. But like obviously then she couldn't let go of the cafe, and I thought maybe that was guilt as well, but then she also loved it, and Chatty Wednesdays, blah blah blah. Okay, so then we go into the second season, and it's been like a year. Fleabag has distanced herself from her family, which is interesting that she did it, and also the family did it, but this is after Fleabag had told her sister that her sister's husband had tried to kiss her. And so they just like, boop, kind of went their separate ways, because of course, like her sister's husband is a total asshole and he knows it, and he even like fully admits it later on. But you know, who's she going to trust? We wish she would trust her sister, but she also knows her sister.
Yeah. And what just happened with Boo? Like, it just, though the year has passed, like the last they'd interacted was after Boo, and after those revelations came to light, and wow,
it was just the last time they interacted. Oh, you mean like close to the when Boo died? Because it's unclear to me like how soon Boo died before the show starts.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, a couple months. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. You really can't tell because it seems really fresh, and she's buried it so interestingly in her psyche that is bleeding out throughout the series. Like, you get little snippets of. That's another really cool thing that they did, the way that this has been directed and produced, is that you're getting like two images at once, where you're getting her looking to camera, and then you're actually getting her real thought, which is what happened with Boo, or seeing Boo walk into traffic. And I'm like, oh, so good. It's just so good.
Oh, wait, what? Like
those moments where,
yeah, tell me.
Like, she'd say something to camera, do like a wink and a nod to us to kind of, it almost seemed like it was like to pacify us as the audience, to be like, haha, and then we'd get a flash to what she was actually thinking, which was about Boo, and like as her like little internal motivation to do something like tragic, seemingly. I feel like every time we see Boo, she's gonna make a bad decision.
Oh my god,
she's running from trauma.
Oh my god, I have to watch it again.
Yeah,
because I did not, like, I'd pick up on her looking at us, and then we'd see something and she'd be like, oh, not now, or something like that. But like, I guess
she's lying to us too throughout the series. It seems like we're in on a secret, but she's also lying to us to our faces. Because then we'll see, and then we'll see what she's really thinking. I mean, sometimes played to comedy, and then sometimes played to tragedy. Like when she's in the therapist chair, and she's like, you know exactly what you're going to do. And she's like, no, I don't. But she's looking at us. And she's like, the doctor would say, yes, you are. She'd look at us and say, no, I don't. And to the doctor, no, I don't. But then cut to, she knew exactly what she was doing. Like the next scene is her at like a church festival of some sort. And so I'm like, okay, well.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right with that. I thought it was kind of like, yeah, she was sort of being sarcastic in a sense, like, but at least with that one. But now I'm kind of like, oh, I just have to watch it again and look for when she sees Boo, she's going to make a bad decision.
I think so.
A booed decision.
A boo-boo. She made a boo-boo.
Oh my god. And second season is really her, like, she is growing up. She is kind of coming into her own, but then she kind of like takes a bit of a detour when she goes after like the most unavailable of unavailable men. Priest.
It's like, I feel like growing up is a strong
yeah, she was 30.
Wording.
She was 30.
Yeah, she's I mean, I don't think that she's changed at all outside of what she has a opening montage of aesthetic changes, where she's like, I'm eating clean and showing up to stuff on time. And like,
right.
I'm strong. I do some sort of a sport, tennis or something, she says. But I'm like, in terms of, I mean, and she's being quiet, so I guess sure, but I'm like, in terms of her actions, nothing's changed. Yeah, she's still being impulsive, she's still running from grief, she's still not telling people how she feels and getting into nonsense. So I was like,
she was you're right. I think it was just like the cafe was just doing well.
Yeah,
and she looked healthy.
She does, and it is, the cafe is going well, and it was on its last legs, so I will give her those.
But she does get those people to just kind of swoop in and help her sometimes, which is a little bit just like movie magic, kind of like the guy from the bank. It's like, no way. Like that, they would not be interacting. Like
no, the bank just dying to give away the bank's money, and a little cafe with guinea pig themed. This is gonna go off. We gotta go with this.
And she went to get the bank loan and lifted up her shirt. Like that was in like the second episode. What the hell was that? And then she said she thought that she had a shirt underneath. I was like, what?
Mm-hmm. Okay, sure.
Yeah, it seemed a little. And then he was one of the men at the We Hate Women banquet. And then they became friends. I don't know. It's all weird. Okay, but the second season, she develops this relationship with Hot Priest. I'm not even sure what his name is. I don't think he has a name. I don't think
he has a name. I think he's just Priest.
They call him Father. A lot of the people don't have names. Godmother, like when I would watch it with subtitles, she was just referred to as Godmother.
Mm-hmm.
Father is her dad plus the priest. So I guess Fleabag isn't the only person that isn't named, but Claire is like named because then Claire falls in love with Claire. Oh God. But
Claire and Claire.
I know. And
Adorbs.
He was so cheesy but adorable.
Mm-hmm.
I love your hair. Oh my God. Anyways,
that hair was terrible.
You guys know it. You guys know it if you know it. You know what we're talking about if you've seen it. Her French haircut.
Oh yeah, it did. I thought French was a good description for it. Yeah.
And they go barreling into the salon, and then he shows her the picture, and he did it like exactly. And it's like that's the picture that Claire gave him. Like that's insane. And she like freaked out and went to the salon. What is happening?
I mean, I have done that before, like walked into a salon and just been like cut all my hair off. And then they did it, which I thought was crazy. And then I mean, I did like it, but it was
if someone comes in
traumatizing.
And says that, they need to turn you back around and ask you to come back in 24 hours before you Britney Spears that shit.
Yeah.
They need to be like, you need to think about your actions.
Yeah, there's no take backs. Once it's gone, it's gone.
I mean, it'll grow back, but
months.
Very slowly.
Yeah.
And then you'll
months
have
of baseball caps and wigs, and so it's even more work.
So what do you think about this relationship?
I think, it's lovely on screen. The Hot Priest is hot, but I love this actor. I think he was in
so good.
Sherlock, the BBC version of Sherlock, as Moriarty, and I love Scotland, and I think he's Scottish in real life, maybe. Okay. And so it's by far my favorite European accent. So I was very happy with that. And I think, obviously it's the power, it's the authority, And he's cute. He has huge eyes.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that, but I did think I thought he was cute. I thought his personality maybe pushed him into like hot-ish territory, but he was just adorable.
Yeah. He's an unattainable asshole, so I think he's like kryptonite to most people.
You think he was an asshole?
Yeah. Well, he had asshole-ish tendencies, not like in a bad way. Like,
oh really? I thought he was so nice. He swore
really?
sometimes. Yeah, but like he always was doing it like with a wink and a nod.
Yeah, I guess like maybe, I don't know, asshole-ish to me, like also synonymous with clever.
Oh,
like,
wow. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I always feel like when people are trying to be clever, I'm like, okay.
Funny.
You could also not.
So you cleverly call them assholes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then like you could just answer my question or whatever we were doing. Like, but you chose the clever route, the asshole-ish route.
Oh my God.
Because at moments I'm very type A and I'm like, do we have to do this right now? We gotta do bits. Cool. It's like in real life.
I feel like you're talking about something specific.
I'm not. No, well, yeah, I am. Comedians. It gets old.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What we're gonna do bits? What we're gonna go back call back?
We're gonna do all the bits, hours of bits.
Oh God. He was clever.
But yeah, I mean, I would call him more clever. Like, I didn't think he was being an asshole to her ever.
Yeah, he was just like, but it started with, well, fuck you then.
Yeah.
And then it was like, and he loved an F-bomb. She's like, ooh, the cool sweary priest.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah. I don't like them as a couple.
Yeah, spoiler,
kind of
they
sad.
sleep together. That was sad.
I was sad about that, but it would have been such a good test for her to just not have something she wanted and see her make a better choice. But I mean, that would be inauthentic to the character where she is right now, to be like, all of a sudden she gets it. She's had a problem with this entire, or with self-restraint, this, over season 1 and season 2 up until.
She's pretty impulsive.
Yeah. And so it wouldn't have made as much sense, but I would have liked it if she was a real person. I would have been like, no.
And also like pushing him to that, like, yes, he made his own decision. I totally get it. But, and it's not all on her. But the first thing she says the next morning is, I can't believe you did that. And it was like, oh, like that just kind of like hit me. And I don't know, he didn't seem like upset by her saying that, but it was just like such a, I don't know, it just didn't sit right with me. I was just like, that's just an asshole thing to say. Like, this is this guy's entire life.
Well, he really didn't give up anything. I mean,
he actually did
say a couple prayers.
He actually didn't give up the damn thing.
Boom.
As long as you confess, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, so.
Yeah, I don't think he gave up anything, nor do I think he told anybody. I bet he just maybe he confessed to another priest. That would be an interesting way to do it. But he did seem to really believe in Jesus.
Do you know if priest to priest they have to keep confidence? Like,
yeah, I don't know. I just thought about it when I said it. Like a priest confessing to another priest. Like, what did they do? Is it like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, do they have to, like, if a parishioner confesses to a priest, they have to keep that confidence as, like doctor patient. But I'm like, but from doctor to doctor, if you're not a parishioner at my parish, I wonder if they have to keep that confidence or report it to a cardinal. Like,
I think you have to keep it unless it's something that I don't know. Like, is it sort of like with therapy, unless you're going to be a harm to yourself or others? And are you considered a harm if you sleep with a woman? Maybe not.
Yes.
Why?
I think you at least need to go back to seminary for a semester. Like, they got to take you out of the game. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure our priests slept with women.
I know that they have the ability to, but I feel like when you take the vow and you break the vow, like maybe you go back, you do some refresher courses on the vow, and then you come back.
I think priests should be able to marry, though. So maybe.
Oh, 100%. But that's not the vow he took.
No, it's not. No, he is supposed to be married to God. I did like that he did. Like, he was a priest in the sense that, like, it did kind of show a different dynamic to a person that we can kind of just think of as one note. How he could be like, but he's like, oh, I love it when he does that, and the picture just like falls or things like that. And I'm just like, aw, like it. I like when they made him more of a human, because like priests are people, and yes, there have been priests that have done terrible things, and this is not at all discounting those things, but like it's like when you think your teacher like is only your teacher and then goes home and just doesn't have a life and comes back as your teacher, or like your parents are just your parents and they never had a life. It's like the same kind of thing.
I agree. I like that they showed him being human, alluding to his previous life, because no one starts out as a priest.
You're not born a priest.
No one's born a, well, I mean, I'm sure somebody has been born a priest. Yeah, I guess I'm just thinking of like the Dalai Lama. Isn't that guy technically? I guess it's a monk. He would be a monk. They would be a monk.
Oh my God, I forgot the hot priest brother was a pedophile though.
God.
Speaking of.
I thought that was a joke. I was really hoping that was a joke, just like very dry joke.
Oh.
Because he said he was a truck driver, so I was like, a traveling pedophile sounds
terrifying.
Terrifying, and like if like it shouldn't be allowed. Like I feel like maybe you stay where people can constantly see you. Maybe.
Oh my God. So we could talk about this truly forever. But at the end, well, the priest starts to see her talking to the fourth wall. So he's the first person that sees her talking to us, or at least like sees her disappear. So I imagine it's almost like she has like a seizure. Like she just like stops.
What?
No, not, seizures that people can have where they freeze.
No, I never heard of
this. So there's some types of seizures like where people have like a grand mal seizure, and that's the kind that you might think of when you think of it. But there are other types of seizures where someone might just freeze and stop talking. That's sort of what I imagine like he's seeing her do that no one else is seeing. Like he's like, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Yeah, but like that's the metaphor of it. I think might have been offline when we talked about it. But like,
no, I'm just picturing it. I was like, oh my God, if someone did that to me, I think I would hope somebody.
Oh yeah.
And then I thought, what if I'm doing that all the time and no one said anything?
It'd be terrible.
Yeah,
terrible.
I think I'm just like, somebody should tell me now.
Somebody should tell you. Yeah, that's what I kind of think. But I think it's a metaphor in the sense that like he sees her. He's the first person that has seen her in a long time since Boo, I would say. And so sometimes she'll like give a wink and a nod to the audience and break the fourth wall. And then Hot Priest is like, who are you talking? Where'd you go? What'd you just do? And then he looks at us at one point too. And I was like, ah! I felt like I had to hide from guys. The show is brilliant. Okay, it truly is brilliant. I felt like I had to hide from the people on my screen. Now, if a show can make me do that, I don't know.
You're invested. You're invested. To be like,
I truly was like, he's like, oh, no, I don't know. I'm not here. I'm not watching because I feel like I'm seeing something I'm not supposed to. And then she says goodbye to us at the end. And she says goodbye to us. And we have the Alabama Shake song. And she's going to be okay. And this time around when watching it, I was having a sad day anyways, but I really started crying.
Oh.
When Fleabag walked away. And then I was like, Zach, he's like, is he watching Fleabag? He was like, do you feel abandoned by her? He's like, she grew up. I was like,
she's our manic pixie. Somehow she's ours. She is telling us her story so that we will grow up. But I'm not going to. But
God, she is.
I love that.
You're really breaking my mind with some of these things. About,
you're getting my contact high right now. You're just like, we're on the same.
She's like Boo and this and
and I love when she's breaking the fourth wall. I also think that the priest is the first person to notice that how often she dissociates. And I think that's what he's seeing. Because I've seen people's eyes just go vacant and I'm like, yeah, I'm here, but you might not be anymore. So I think she's just dissociating and, like escaping into like this little world of asides that she's, sorry. It was a fly. There was a fly. I was like, oh, gross.
Oh my God.
No, I lost my thought. Fly.
Get out of the way.
Yeah, it ruined everything.
Oh no, that's just something on my screen. Oh no, I see the fly.
No,
I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. I think I did. I think I did see it. I'm being honest. I think I did, because then
I swear to God, it went like, and I was like, "This is disgusting. Why are you so close to my face?"
Disassociates, and then when Boo shows up, she's about to do something crazy. I really need to.
Well, I think it's like the guilt, and she's like running from that guilt so hard, and grief and all of the negative emotions. And she's. I wish that there would be another, like something else where it explored like female sex addiction. I feel like it's like very cornered market for men, but I'm like I thought that like bringing that in as like another theme of I don't know, maybe I wouldn't call her sex addicted. I don't think she was, her sexual behavior wasn't like affecting her ability to live her life. Like she had the cafe still, so I don't know if it's an addiction, but like her
can be, she could be functioning, but it did seem like she used it to feel good, for sure. But no, it was awesome. Should we, I mean, I think it's very obvious, but is she a strong female lead? So for this pod, we have some criteria for strong female lead in determining whether there is an SFL indeed in our movie or TV show. So number 1 is lead top build. Number 2, does the character impact the plot and or move the story forward? Number 3, does the character have agency? Number 4, well, actually, it's just 3 criteria, and then sometimes we do the Bechdel test.
Some tiebreakers.
But I mean, yes.
Yeah, 100%. This is everything we've been asking for. Hollywood didn't deliver it to us. Whatever the British equivalent to Hollywood is did.
BBC 3.
So BBC, BBC 3.
And PWB.
Yeah. They delivered it as promised, nailed it, deserves all the awards. There's such short episodes. This is, I think you said this already, but like this is one of the series that I wish I could watch again for the first time.
Oh, I know.
Because I remember watching it the first time and just like devouring this series and just being like, how is this not going on forever? How do we never get to know what happens to these characters? I mean, that's very American to be like, we want like 7 seasons in a movie.
Yes, I want to watch it till I hate it.
Yeah. And extremely British to be like, no, there's 3 series and we'll never ever speak of these again. Story complete. 2.
Done. Deal. Suck it up and stop showing all those goddamn emotions.
It's inappropriate for the table.
It's a bedroom gift.
Yeah.
Just gonna say that in general, like maybe at a family event.
Yeah.
I'll give like my mom a gift or something, a present. I'll be like, it's a bedroom gift.
That sounds like you're giving her a vibrator.
I know, that's the point. It's very funny. And then you say, what? It's a gift that you should just open by yourself in the bedroom.
Yeah.
And then they're like, wait, that's still weird. And you're like, it's a coupon for therapy.
I would be so excited if somebody's like, oh, I want to pay for your therapy. Thank you.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think PWB is saying? Phoebe Waller-Bridge, what do you think she's saying about femininity and masculinity, if she is saying anything?
Yeah, I didn't see anything that I would be well, I didn't pick up any messaging that was about men, which I very much enjoyed. Like I see women in positions of power all over the series, which I appreciated, not in just the typical female roles. Like the therapist is a woman, the women in business seminar or awards thing.
And they go to the seminars, the dad pays for them to go to those. It's like the way he shows his love is just like so strange.
I love it. I wish my parents would send me into a silent
send them to
retreat.
Seminars. Oh, did he send them to the retreat? That's even funnier.
I don't know how they got to the retreat. But I
seem
enjoyed
like
it.
a decision that would be made by either of them. That's why I was like, how did you guys end up here? Like, I don't think Claire wants to be like cleaning a floor with a toothbrush.
No. Well, maybe. She seems like she went manically clean instead of just obsessively clean. Like,
oh my God. But yeah, I mean, well, I guess now that we're talking about it, she is talking a lot about women. She is like raising women up in this, absolutely, and showing that they can be just as powerful and just as messy, and not these these perfect coveted beings. They keep talking about her mother and how she was very much like her mother. And then we were kind of made to think that those are all the bad parts of Fleabag, but then her dad says those are actually the good parts at the end, which was very sweet.
I love that. I love this portrayal of like, this feels very real because I like what you said about how Phoebe was saying like an external perfection and a fucked up internal world, and I feel like that's so accurate to real life, is that like you never really know what the fuck is happening in other people's lives, which I love. And I also think that this is like very similar in terms of the perspective as I May Destroy You. They both like these characters, and like what's coming out of the UK right now, I'm just like, are we competing right now? Are we because I can't think of an American series that's come out recently that can that has done what this is doing without like the budgets of a Marvel movie. Like,
yeah, seriously, it's just, I know they're making it with like way less money, and it's way better content.
Yeah, I mean, I do love me some Marvel, but I mean, it's I mean,
it was wonderful. I don't know if she was saying anything necessarily about femininity, but it seemed like she was, unless it was that femininity can be lots of things.
Yeah, like femininity is just humanity with extra bits.
With extra pieces and bits.
Also pieces and bits. Like, I just, it is becoming intolerable to see like perfect women and people who have their shit together. But I mean, also,
I know.
I feel like if everyone was Fleabag, it'd be just as tiring.
Yeah, it would be pretty chaotic. Yeah, I mean, the show was just great. I don't think there was a lot of diversity. That's the only thing that I noticed. I mean, the boyfriend of Boo.
Yeah. I think, in the non-speaking cast, I noticed some diversity, but in terms of like speaking roles, title roles, not really. Which is, I mean, I don't know the demographics of the UK, but it's always nice to see.
It's always nice to see
a cast that reflects the demographics of wherever it is. I don't even know where they live. I assumed London, but I couldn't tell you.
The cafe was in London, but other than that, I don't know, because everyone looked kind of shocked at the $25 sandwich. She just like made up prices, which I loved. And then also when someone would order something, she's like, of course I have that. And then she'd go find a frozen. And I'm like, what is happening here?
Yeah, that is exactly how most like diners work. And so I was like, that's hilarious that they bring that.
So what would you rate this? 6 out of 5 for me.
I was trying to think. I was like, I don't know. I guess 5 out of 5. I'm trying to think of anything that if I was given creative control over season 3 of Fleabag, would I change anything? No. I just want to know what happens next.
Exactly. It was basically the only reason I say like it's near perfect is because like what is perfect? But like it's the closest thing to a perfectly timed script and comedy that I have like ever seen. And it's like sometimes totally laugh out loud funny, and then other times like tragically sad. It was just fantastic.
Yeah. I love a dark comedy. I think it gives the full range of what comedians can do. We're not always the golden retrievers of the industry to just make you laugh and smile on command.
No, you guys are dark as shit underneath.
Dark shit. Yeah. I feel like, people only look at dramatic or dramas or for this type of depth. And I always love to see it in the comedy genre. I think we can do a lot in this space.
Yeah, absolutely. It is kind of funny that people typically seem to be surprised. Like when you see a comedian do a dramatic role, I think it's far more surprising to see someone who does dramas do something funny. Because I think like comedy seems like it, to me, you're just more likely to be able to have both skill sets if you start with the ability to do comedy. But if you start with drama, I'm just like, being funny is just like a thing. I feel like the thing you have or you haven't to some extent. You can learn to hone it, but like some of it's innate. And I think you can be taught to be a dramatic actor.
Yeah. I always I like to think of it as like comedians can see in the dark, like we can be in a dark space and still see light in the dark, whereas a dramatic actor like thrives in the dark. Like they're not looking to get out of it. Like you're like, that is my impression of a dramatic actor. It's like you're now living in the body, in the spirit, in the mentality of that thing, and you're like not coming out of it. We're in the dark thing looking for light.
Wow, did you come up with that yourself?
I did, guys. I'm not even high. I'm just like so good at it.
So deep. My God. I love it. Oh, Tessa, it's great. It's good to be back.
Great. It's good to be back. I'm excited for second half of season 3. Strong female lead.
Second half.
This year's been good to us. Hopefully it continues to be entertaining for you guys. I love to do the podcast.
Yeah.
For forever.
Forever. We'll be old ladies.
Yes.
Well, until next time, guys.
Yes. Oh, wait. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you like us and you haven't already. Follow us on the social medias. We're going to be putting out a lot more content on the in the old social medias, on the Instagrams. StrongFemalePod at StrongFemalePod for Instagram, and at SFL_Chicago for Twitter. It took me a second. It's like,
thank you for carrying that. I was not helping at all, and I was like, oh yeah, our socials. Like I would have just hung up, as I was gonna say.
Yeah, and leave us some suggestions. We're going to be putting out some polls and stuff. We want to know what you guys are watching. Is anyone watching Apple TV? Is it worth the download? I need you guys to tell me, help me out with some suggestions on the Apple Plus or Apple TV.
Can you watch it if you don't have an Apple device?
Yes. You can download it as just a regular app to your smart TV or your phone.
Okay.
Or you can just log in on any website or any laptop.
Oh, well, that's good to know because I switched over to Samsung. I'm an Android person now.
Oh.
Yeah, I made the switch, peeps.
Oh, well. How's it feel?
So far so good. I feel a little more detached from, I don't know, the Apple cult was just like a little overwhelming for me. And I don't like the way the phones are. I don't like all of the automatic stuff that you can't change as part of like Apple hardware that you can have more control over. Android, I don't know. We'll see. It's an attempt rather than going just full flip phone, which I was trying, and I do still have a flip phone for when I go off the grid. I was like, well, let me try something, see if I have a little more control.
Yeah. I like it.
We'll see. All right, now really, because I'm definitely gonna fall asleep.
Yeah.
Until next time, guys.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.